Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ballchat. Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to Ballchat podcast, the season finale, final show for the club season. My name is Benton. We have the family, Junior, aka Engineer, on the phone. What's going on, family? How you doing? Well, Junior,
What's up there? I try to hook up the computer.
Junior will switch to video shortly as he's getting his computer connected. Football family, welcome to Ballchat podcast. We're going to do our season finale of club football. We'll wrap the show up for the season for the club football version, our regular Sunday show, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Then we will pivot to watch-alongs, mainly focus on the Reggaegirlz and the Reggae Boys. We have Gold Cup action coming up later on this summer. We'll do watch-along for those games. We'll also have the World Cup coming along. We'll do watch-along for those games. So as Junior work out his video, getting ready to jump on video in a second, I'm going to give you the overview of the show. Football family, if you're new or if you're late or you're just joining Ballchat for the first time, we really encourage fans participation. So if you're new, just take a minute to participate in the show. Give us your thoughts. What we do, we recap the major news in the world of football. We don't touch everything. We try to touch some of the major news in the world of football. On the plate for today's show, we got Champions League football. Manchester City, of course, treble winners in UEFA. We're going to discuss Man City's big season. Man City defeated Inter Milan in the conclusive game in UEFA football final yesterday, UEFA Champions League final. We have Messi joining Inter Miami. We'll discuss that eminent transfer and the ramifications, the fallout, the actual numbers. We'll look at some of the numbers that Messi will impact the MLS and the implications for Messi joining the MLS. Big announcement from Lionel Messi on Mundo Deportivo. We'll also discuss the Reggaegirlz camp squad, Reggaegirlz upcoming camp. Players invited by coach Lauren Donaldson. We'll take a look at those players and the squad. And we'll also discuss the Reggae Boys friendly games. Reggae Boys have a few friendly games coming up against Qatar. And Reggae Boys also have friendly games a friendly game against Qatar and Jordan coming up. Let's see if Junior is on TV now. Junior? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I can't see. How you doing, family?
I'm good. It's a bittersweet day. Another season-ending show for Ballchat, the pilot show and the parent show. And boy, it's been a great year.
It's been a great year. All right, let's get to it. All right, before we get to Messi and discuss his deal, because I know you can't wait to discuss that deal. We're going to talk about ballers and bugs, family. Let's get to ballers and bugs first. I just want one baller and one bug for this week, and then we can pivot to your baller of the year and a bug of the year. So a baller for this week and a bug, and then we can go to the baller of the year and bug of the year.
All right, so baller for this week. My baller for this week is just give Rodri for the winning goal at the Champions League yesterday. I mean, we don't have to make it too complicated.
It's like, it's like there's a tad bit like, okay, all right. We notice you won the Champions League. We're just gonna give it to you. All right, yeah, Rodri got the UEFA Player of the Year award also. So baller, you giving him your baller of the week. I'm giving my baller to Lucas Zelarayan, a Columbus Crew player, scored a goal from way downtown. The man scored a goal from parking lot junior from midfield in his half. That deserves a baller of the week. Check it out on YouTube. When Brighton scored against Chelsea, when Julio Enciso scored against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the EPL, I said that goal was from the parking lot. This goal from Lucas Zelarayan is from another zip code, from another time zone. It's way, way downtown. So, ball of the week to Lucas Zelarayan. Ball of the week. Excellent goal. All right, Junior, bugs of the week, family. Bug of the week. One bug.
Who you think I get to?
I don't know. I mean, we don't want to kick the man while he's down, but go ahead.
No, but I'll kick. I don't, you know. If you are in tune with pop culture, you know that there's a brother named Tory Lanez in prison right now for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot, right? We don't know, it come like Megan just can't get a good shooter in her life because everybody what she link up with can't shoot straight.
Those are the
Megan Thee Stallion get bug of the week for just picking some bad shooter.
Those are the views of Junior Pringle and not Ballchat, fam. We're running disclaimer. And big up to Romelu Lukaku. You know, we saw an image of Romelu Lukaku with Megan Thee Stallion out in the street. Go on, Mr. Romelu Lukaku. My bug of the week, family, we're in Ballers and Bug segment. We're doing one bug, one baller for the week. And then we're going to do a baller and bug for the year. One baller for the year and one bug for the year. My bug for the week, how could it not be Football Club Barcelona? How can it not? How could it not be Football Club Barcelona for putting out that pathetic statement saying, and we'll get to the statement in a few minutes, saying that, you know, they understand that Messi wants to play in a less pressured league. Come on, Football Club Barcelona. That was a horrible, horrible statement. A player who have contributed heavily to your success. Says in recent memory, you can do better than that. So Football Club Barcelona gets the bug of the week for that statement regarding Lionel Messi deciding to join Inter Miami. We'll get Junior's thoughts on that later on. All right, ball of the year for you, family. Who you have?
Yo, the ball of the year award is a difficult. You have so many options, but what the year constitutes of is football leagues in Europe, the world, and also the World Cup that played this year, right? And I sat on this show and said Messi's World Cup dream was over because he had a more talented World Cup team and lost with that talented World Cup team. The Messi that showed up this year in the World Cup, to me, is the baller of the year. Now, that Messi hasn't played for PSG, which kind of dampened the award for the whole year. Because we have to look at the whole year in totality. And I would have given it to Kevin De Bruyne for the year that he had. He had a decent World Cup. Our Luka, could I give Luka and Modric? Modric had a decent World Cup and a decent club year. But what Messi did at his age, with all of the baggage behind him, with Maradona passing last year, with all of the storyline behind it, you have to give it to Messi.
Final season finale for club football for Ballchat. If you're new to the show, this is how we do. We have a Ballers and Bugs segment where we highlight impressive players of the week, being ballers. Bugs, we highlight those unimpressive players of the week. I guess we need to find another word than highlight for bugs because we don't want to highlight bugs. We just want, just throw them out there. Since it's the final show, family, we're doing a baller for the week and we're doing a bug for the week and we're doing a baller for the year and we're doing a bug for the year. Junior's baller for the week was Rodri. And your bug for the week was Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, she just pick some bad shooter.
For picking bad shooter. My ball of the week was Lucas Zelarayan for scoring that wonder goal from way downtown in MLS for Columbus Crew. And my bug of the week has been Football Club Barcelona. We in the Ballers and Bug now for the year. And baller for Junior is Messi. Oh, yeah, I should have thought about this one a little bit more closely. And, you know, I was leaning towards Ilkay Gundogan. I was also leaning towards Manuel Akanji. I think that the Messi is definitely warranted. It's a tight one to squeeze out, but I'm just going to squeeze this to Ilkay Gundogan. Yes, Germany didn't do well in the World Cup. Didn't do as expected in the World Cup, and they didn't win the World Cup. And Messi, rightfully so, deserves his Ball of the Year award. But I'm going to squeeze it to Ilkay Gundogan. I think this elusive trophy, this Champions League, eluded Ilkay twice, both at Dortmund with Klopp. They went to one final. Now at Man City, went to another final, and they lost both of them. And here he is, picking up this trophy and lifting this trophy yesterday. So I'm going to give him the Ball of the Year. And just the enormity, the enormous display by Gundogan down the stretch and throughout the season for Man City. Immense. I mean, for an old foot, for a player who's been in the trenches for a while, I didn't expect Ilkay Gundogan to come to the party so late in the season, but he was absolutely outstanding. And I will be on record as saying that Man City does not win this trophy without Ilkay Gundogan playing the way, or these trophy without Ilkay Gundogan playing the way that he has played this season. So he gets the Ball of the Year for me. Ball of the Year for Gundogan. All right, Junior, let's get to some of the major news roundup.
Bug of the year.
Bug of the Year. Sorry. I know you didn't want. All right, go ahead. Bug of the Year for me.
You know, there's so much things that happened this year. You had the racism, the multiple racism rules. You have in Italy, in Spain. I feel it's happening in Russia. I feel it's happening in England too. And they're finding ways to quell it. Right? You have the debacle at Chelsea. I could have given it to Potter so easily. Potter leaving him good job. And Brighton seemingly got better without Potter. And Potter go at Chelsea and the pot have whole night and a beer water league. Tottenham took 3 million years to get a coach that nobody knows about. Right? Barcelona cut the books, have an idiot side. Allegedly, buy a big side, buy a championship. Are so many bugs. But how could I not give it to Arsenal? What the hell did they do this season? Look at the year Arsenal. I think Arsenal had the best football year without a trophy. I think Arsenal had the best club season without winning a trophy. Think about that. Atletico Madrid will sneak out a cup here and there when they play against the big bad Barca and the big bad Real Madrid. But think about it. The best playing club season with nothing to show a fight other than run up. Arsenal, man. All got a year, man. Jesus.
You know, I'm not, since it's an individual award, I mean, it's a personal award. We're making our selections. I'm not.
Arteta.
I'm not going to dispute that one. I think it's a tad bit harsh, but you know what? Ballers and Bugs of the Year. Bug of the Year for me. How could it not be Chelsea? Chelsea, low-hanging fruit, but four managers, right? Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter, Frank Lampard, and that interim brother, Tirani, or I can't even remember his name. But it has to be Chelsea. It has to be the director of leadership at Chelsea, Todd Bowley, El Baghdadi, Bugs of the Year. Bug players at Chelsea Football Club. Bug of the Year. It has to be that. And honorable mention, Junior, to Juventus. And the fact that they got deducted, 15 points, and then they made a deal and deducted 10 points. And now they will play in European Conference League. Honorable mention for you for Bug of the Year, family.
Neymar, because now the word is the side after Messi not deciding to go to Saudi Arabia, word is they are now full court pressing Neymar. And everybody's expecting Neymar to sign with Saudi Arabia. If Neymar...
No, that won't happen.
Well, everybody is expecting Neymar to cash in. PSG wants to get rid of Neymar. So if Neymar, and I don't think it is against the realm of possibility, I can see Neymar cashing in. And if he does that, that's the end of his international career. I'm not playing for Brazil in a serious tournament anymore. And look at the waste of talent in that Celestial jersey, in that canary yellow, iconic number 10. Look at the waste. Look at the World Cup that he had, even though he was injured, but he's injured every time. Neymar get my honorable bug mention when I foreshadow that he is going to go to Saudi Arabia, and that's it for his career. Done.
I mean, I should say it's premature for me to say that won't happen. That is incorrect. It's unlikely that it can happen. So I mean, Saudi League is throwing around a lot of money, and anything is possible. Anything is possible. All right, let's get to our major news of the week, family, and we're kicking it off. We're gonna start it off with the news. Lionel Messi, there's a mural in Miami, South Beach, with the one and only Mr. Messi. In an interview with Mundo Deportivo, Messi said, "Que voy a ir a Miami," end quote. Junior, I know you got a grade 1 in Spanish, so that basically confirmed that he's on his way to Miami. Junior, your thoughts on the announcement, first and foremost? 35 years old Messi joining up to Inter Miami.
From Messi's perspective, I think it is an open and shut deal. You sign this 100 out of 100 times. It is the right decision. Now, 35 years old, he is still a little bit young, you know. He's over the hill, and his prime years are behind him. But I think Messi could have had another great year in Europe, right? I really do. I think 35 in today's world is still young. So MLS is getting a good version of Messi, a great footballer that still have something to offer, right? So that it's great both ways. We soon talk about the figures, and I don't like the figures, to be honest with you. I don't like it. The negative side, where Messi was parlaying out there saying that he wanted to play for Barcelona. If you want to play for Barcelona, you sign for $1. It's not you're a free agent. It's not difficult, right? So, but it's the right decision. It is the right decision. I think it's a little bit early, but it is the right decision.
A Major League Soccer tweeted, quote, the goat, well, the image of a goat, a white goat. They posted on their Twitter account the image of a goat and said, the goat is coming. Millions of MLS fans all over the world welcome you, Leo. Follow along for more. I am going to Miami, Messi says. Now, we don't know the details of this deal. It still needs to be worked out based on some of the reports we have heard. But, of course, there are other deals intertwined or mixed into this. There's a deal with Apple that's apparently being involved. There's also a deal with, I I think Adidas also involved. I'm trying to get my notes here. So there's a lot of money being a lot of things that has worked together to make this happen, because this is not a cheap player by any stretch of the imagination. Junior, in terms of a figure, we don't know, we just can't think so it's a large number. From an investment perspective and for MLS, how do you see this one panning out?
I don't want to hear no American talk about recession and this and that. I don't want to hear no American company talk about it. The average cost, the lowest ticket for a Miami FC game was $29. Right?
Yeah.
29 US dollars. The lowest ticket, lowest, I talk way up in the rafters and I nosebleed. The lowest cost for a Miami FC ticket after the announcement of signing of Messi is $467. You know how much it costs on average for a Premier League game? A Premier League game, average, when I talk nosebleed, the average Premier League fan pays for less than £40 per match.
But they're
So
not watching
you are
Messi,
going-
Junior.
Huh?
They're not watching Messi.
They are watching Manchester City.
They
They are watching Manchester
watching
United.
Bug. They're watching Bug, Leeds, and Bournemouth.
Oh, okay. So guess what? You are going to pay. Cause you not gonna sit down. You not gonna sit down in the nosebleed.
No,
Right?
I'm not paying it. Somebody.
All right. Somebody going to pay. That person don't want to sit on the nosebleed. Cause if you're gonna pay $500 sit on the nosebleed for watch ants play, you might as well stay here and watch it on TV.
Stay home and, yeah.
So you're gonna pay $1,000 to sit down and watch Leo Messi play against Columbus Crew. Eh? Y'all watch him play against, we never want disrespect with big defender. Y'all watch Leo Messi play for $500, the least amount. Jesus.
I mean, according to according to TickPick at TickPick on Twitter, TickPick is ticket in house that track ticket prices. 400% increases or 1,000% increases in some of these prices. As of June 7th, Inter Miami versus Cruz Azul game set for July 21st. Cheapest tickets sold before the news, $29. Cheapest tickets now available, $329. Evidently they have gone up because Junior is looking at it now. New York Red Bulls versus Inter Miami, August 26th. Cheapest tickets sold before the news. Current, you're looking at $401. Los Angeles FC versus Inter Miami 9-3 in September. Cheapest before the announcement, $81. Now we're looking at $422. Messi is probably gonna make his debut around July 21st for that Cruz Azul game. Junior, this is good old capitalism. It's good old capitalism, and America is hell bent on capitalism. I'm not paying $300. I'm not paying $100. I'm not paying $200 to watch Messi play. But some people will, and some people will, and ultimately, MLS will see a huge turnaround in gate receipts, especially for Bug Inter Miami. Inter Miami being the last ranking, last place currently in the Eastern standing in the MLS. And jersey sales. I mean, jersey sales will go through the roof with Messi's name on it. Also, I wasn't inclined to watch any of this Apple TV. Apple TV has exclusive rights for MLS currently, and people have to buy Apple TV package to watch the games outside of their region. Now, I am not saying I will pay for Apple TV, but I will be more interested to watch Inter Miami game more. And so what I will do? Well, I'll probably find a Henry Morgan channel and watch the game more now. But it's someone will pay that price, Junior, and that that is the landscape of things. How long will those prices stay high? This is maybe by in the fall. Miami now make the playoffs, so we know probably won't make the playoffs. So I don't expect these prices to stay that high next season.
Excuse me? Look, all right. The MLS have gone through multiple iterations, right? Of leagues. I remember the best time MLS had was when you had Valderrama, you had Hermosillo, you had the brother from not Belize, the brother from I think it's Belize with the long hair, number 10 for Belize, all right? From South America. It's not Belize, but yeah, that era, the late 90s, right? Valderrama was older. The brother I'm thinking about played for DC United. Is it Echeverria?
Okay, Marcus Echeverri. Marco Echeverri.
Him and the long hair brother one, baller, but he played for a South American team that wasn't good.
I think they played for Bolivia.
I think it was Bolivia.
But I remember Echeverri.
Yeah, and you remember that DC United, Bobby Convip was the youngest player before Freddie Adu came around. And that iteration of MLS was their most competitive time, right?
Yeah, number 10 for DC United, Marco Echeverri.
Forward now, in this time, back then, MLS was targeting South and Central America for their footballers, right? Now, they are targeting, earlier in this iteration, they were targeting older, aging, past European stars, the Pirlos, the David Villas, those kind of players, right? Beckhams, Zlatan, older, past and prime. With Messi coming over now, and I'm telling you, Messi is still young enough. He's 35. He is not that old. Messi is going to raise he's going to raise the quality of the league. I can see instead of Miguel Almiron leaving Atlanta United and going over to Newcastle, and Messi coming over, the new Miguel Almiron will stay in MLS. I can see Neymar leaving PSG and coming to LA Galaxy. We can't see that happening. Worse if Saudi Arabia opened the door to say Neymar forward come aside. I can't see Neymar coming to MLS. I can see MLS finally raising the quality that they've been trying to raise in their football. I can see that happening, Mentor.
Okay, Reggie, big up. Reggie said best thing we did this year was go in on our neighbors Atlanta United season ticket. Reggie is in a very good space because right now when Inter Miami rolls into town, Reggie is guaranteed a seat. You know, Reggie can sell that ticket for a nice turnaround. You know? And Reggie, sell your ticket and watch the game on TV.
So Reggie get ball of the year.
Yeah, for making that investment for that fourth side, for our third side or whatever, for making that investment. Junior, Football Club Barcelona put out a statement saying, you know, they went into the details about, you know, they spoke to Jorge Messi, the player's father, and the representative informed the club that he made his decision to join Inter Miami. The thing about the statement that really irked me, and you can really do your own assessment. In the body of the statement, it says, quote, President Laporta understood and respected Messi's decision to want to compete in a league with fewer demands, further away from the spotlight and the pressure he has been subject to in recent years, end quote. Junior, you speak objectivity. Please, clear up. Give me your thoughts on this statement. Was this even necessary?
Yes, it's necessary because, again, Messi is still young enough, and he chose Miami over you. You actively, you the big bad Barcelona, you the La Liga champions, actively pursued Messi as your number one transfer target this year, right? And you put it out in the atmosphere that he is coming home. You had a lot of Catalan fans getting ready for rehash them number 10 jersey with Messi on the back, right? Them ready for take off Ansu Fati name off of the back of the jersey and put on Messi on it. And then you hear that you lost out, not to Real Madrid, not to Bayern Munich, not to Juventus, Inter Miami, MLS, the Cowboys of United States got your gem of a football player, picked to go play in a vacation league instead of come play for you, right? I mean,
What? Messi said in his interview with Mundo Deportivo, said, quote, "I am not sure if Barca did everything possible to make it happen. Honestly, I just know what Xavi told me. I am sure there's people into the club that does not want me to return to Barcelona." He went on to say, "I was dreaming of Barca return, yes, but I was never sure about that happening because I remember very well the story of August 2021, 2 years ago. I didn't want to tell my kids we go back to Barcelona and then nothing. I was quiet." Junior, it seems like there are two different stories here. Messi even went on to say, quote, "Money never been an issue with me. We didn't even discuss contract with Barcelona. They sent me a proposal, but was never an official written and signed proposal. We never negotiated my salary. It wasn't about money. Otherwise, I would have gone to Saudi Arabia." End quote. Junior, Messi said his piece. Football Club Barcelona said their piece. I don't know who to believe.
I think both sides spoke their truth. I don't think they're opposite. Those are not opposite answers. Messi said that it wasn't about money. Barcelona just gave me a proposal and it wasn't official. So the man feels slighted. The man, he's saying Barcelona is under pressure. To me, Barcelona, the club is saying, we're under pressure. You are play ball next year. Everybody has said you are Barcelona, son. Come back and make we feel joy in the Catalans again. That's what Barcelona is saying. Messi is saying, you come to me now and just give it, you just write on a piece of toilet paper. We would like to have you back. Right? I'd give me that. So Messi has said, yo, I don't know if you're serious. Because next thing now, me turn on Saudi Arabia. It's not about money. We can turn on Saudi Arabia, turn on Inter Miami, come a pre-season, and then by the end of pre-season, you tell me, say, yo, you're not fit enough. That's how Messi can interpret it, because he must say, you never roll out the red carpet for me. While Miami is rolling out the red carpet for me. So, I go which part I am needed. I'm going to go where I feel wanted.
Laporta, the statement even said Laporta and Jorge Messi also agreed to work together to promote a proper tribute from Barca fans to honor the footballer. Junior, but this is indicative of Football Club Barcelona and their greats are excellent contributors to where they are. Football Club Barcelona has a very, very, very poor record in recognizing players once they move on who have done excellent things. Yes, Messi will return there and the fans will give him a round of applause. They will chant the name. They will do whatever. But like Ronaldinho, it will just be another one of those things where the club just close the door and then they just move on. You know, it's just it's indicative of Football Club Barcelona.
No, because I think it's indicative of time. You're a great footballer, and the great footballer feel like he will always be the great footballer. But the club don't see the value in you like you had 20 years ago. So it's the same thing happened with Manchester United and Messi and Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. Same thing happened with Zlatan. Look how Zlatan just fade away into the sunset without any great fanfare. And Zlatan is one of the great strikers of his generation, right? Time is unforgiving, and sometimes you either don't fade out well or you just crash, right? I think Ronaldo is crashing. I think Messi is crashing from a Barcelona perspective. But from a career perspective, he's fading out well.
Yeah,
look for Ronaldo.
And I understand that part. I mean, I just recognize the ballers as they move on. Give them a farewell. I mean, they should have closed this chapter in 2021 properly, in my opinion. Just close it. Just said, baller, this is the way things are financially. We cannot continue this relationship because right now we cannot even fix the roof. Financially, we're in a desperate situation. Let's have a parting of the ways and let's bid you farewell in a proper way, and we just keep it moving. This is me I deal with. Just close the chapter. Recognize your contribution. Big up yourself. Always welcome back to this place because you have a home here. You're one of us. It's just the balling and know what seemed like an a poor attempt according to the Messi camp of trying to bring him back. So Messi we will wait for further news from the MLS and the league itself and Inter Miami officially on when Messi will make his debut once this contract thing gets resolved and etc. You know, but looking forward to see the baller play. I mean, Messi as we all know, the man's a general, and generals as old as they get, they still have that finesse. They still have that ability to control a game and the vision, the ability to pick up the ball and move things around. So move the ball around. So that's always something that I look forward to see with the general. Junior, now to the Champions League final and the winner, Man City won this. We did a watch along yesterday for those of you who don't know, getting ready for a watch along season. Man City are champions of Europe, treble champion, treble winners, Junior. They joined a very selective group. 1966-67 Celtic, 1971-72 Ajax, 1987-88 PSV Eindhoven, 1988-89 Manchester United, Ballchat, 2008-2009 Barcelona, 2009-2010 Inter, 2012-13 Bayern, 2014-15 Barcelona, 2019-2020 Bayern Munich, and 2022-23 Man City. And don't take it personally, say Manchester United's a Ballchat.
No, because the treble is sealed. And that night against Bayern Munich, nothing you can say can ever change that night.
But overall, Rodri got the Player of the Year, Junior. His goal decided the UEFA Player of the Year. His goal decided the encounter. Overall, your final assessment of that game and Man City's big night.
You cannot have a great ending to the game without a great loser, right? And what I mean by that is, I don't think enough credit has been given to Inter. Now, Inzaghi came out and said that that on the night, Inter has shown that we can play against Man City, man to man, right? And I think the game depicted that. I think the game was tight. I think it was a well-played football game. It wasn't a game that you're going to offer to casual fans. I remember, this is the Super Bowl of football, right? Of our sport. So the casual fans will be the one watching it. They probably said, I think the game was boring, I think the game was uneventful. the people that love football loved what we saw because we got a bit of everything in it. So Man City were made to earn their Champions League title, and I think that was a good closing to the year.
Reggie said they will be in Iceland, and they as their family. So he's selling his tickets for the Inter Miami Atlanta United game. So, Ballchat fans, if you don't want to watch Messi, link Reggie, or link Ballchat to make the connection for a 10% discount, a 10% fee. You see what I deal with. But yeah, I think Inter Miami will play Atlanta United sometime in September thereabouts. So, Junior, Pep Guardiola said in March he has this running joke going. Pep says, quote, "I am a failure in the Champions League. Julia Roberts came to England a few years ago in the period when Manchester United were not good. We were better, and she came to Manchester United." Julia Roberts tweeted, "Congratulations at Pep team for leading your team to the Champions League. Leading yourselves to the team." I mean, Pep Guardiola is on cloud nine now. His favorite actress, he has a small admiration or a big admiration for one Miss Julia Roberts, and he's on cloud nine, family.
Yo, Pep Guardiola this year, I think he felt the pressure to prove himself because the questions were coming around and the questions were being asked about his greatness and where does he stack and where does he rank and can he win the Champions League without Barcelona and that kind of foolishness. The man shut up everybody this year, and he set the team out on a journey. And I remember it clearly when they came out of the FIFA Fair Play hearings or whatever. And he came out and pretty much said it's us against the world. And put a challenge to teams out there that we're here to win everything. When Haaland
win everything. Why not the League Cup?
Well, the great red side made sure that they never get a clean sweep. But Haaland came over. I remember Haaland said, "I'm not here to win Premier League. We don't do that already. I'm here for win Champions League." It is a great story, and Pep could have gotten Ball of the Year for me still, to be honest. But I think Messi kind of supplanted him a little bit, but Pep was very close. Regardless of all of the backstory we can say about the side or whatever, the man go out there and deliver under the utmost of pressure.
Yeah, and I want to acknowledge, like with Pep, and I've been on record said I don't like Pep because of the whole Barcelona thing, but Pep Guardiola and the basic idea of a coach, he improves players. He improves players. And I think that is kind of sums him up. Yes, sometimes it may be a little bit too perfectionist driven. It's probably a little bit too controlling. It's in some opinions, some views on it. But the bottom line is that the only thing you can ask, one of the biggest things you can ask from a football coach is to improve players, make them better. The man make Raheem Sterling score a bag of goal. Of course, he was a great coach. I mean, so those things are without a doubt. His accomplishments is without a doubt. 35 trophies. In 14 seasons? How long he's been coaching football game? 35 trophies now. He's second rank all time behind this player, this manager that I don't know. So Alex Ferguson is above him, and I think at this rate it's only a matter of time. So regardless of what I may think of Pep Guardiola, that aside, he's an excellent manager. He makes players better. Point blank, win trophies all in all, big up yourself. Pep says in the post-match press conference, quote, "Be careful, Real Madrid. We are 13 UEFA Champions League away, but we're coming for you. We're on our way. If you sleep a little bit, we will catch you." Of course, it's just loose talk, but in quote, he's finally can relax, Junior.
Yeah, but you know how those quotes are, you know, those quotes can live it in for me, you know. So, Pep Guardiola, it's not. It wouldn't be crazy, right? You remember Fergie. You remember Fergie's iconic comment about Liverpool.
Knock Liverpool off the perch,
And
right?
off the perch.
Yeah.
And look at how that lived on through the years. So Real Madrid might want to take him out serious still.
All of Madridistas, them not have to worry about them talk them, man. Them man they good. Yo, one look at trophy don't mean nothing in the grand scheme of things, you know.
True.
But it's just a joke. But kudos to Pep Guardiola. Kudos to his players. Akanji, Kyle Walker, Jack Grealish. Big up yourself, Jack Grealish. A lot of criticism from myself included. He's definitely improved and contributed heavily to the final objective of winning the treble. So big up. Edison, this is probably the worst year I've seen Edison in terms of clearing a ball, but he was also instrumental in winning. Ruben Diaz, Rodri, Junior, you know many times you sit here and say, yo, I'm to this fool. Rodri. And John Stones stepping up in midfield, helping Rodri with the workload. The pass by Manuel Akanji yesterday to Bernardo Silva was something quite special. So big up to Man City, Ilkay Gundogan. Big up to the soft soap baller, Mr. Kevin De Bruyne. Big up yourself. I mean, those youths deserve the trophy, deserve to lift that trophy. Big up to them, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Continue our football roundup, family. Final show for the club football year for us. We pivot to watch-alongs and interviews coming in the summer. Bit of news while we were watching Champions League yesterday, Junior. Aston Villa secure the service of one Mr. Yuri Tillemans Jr. from Leicester City. Big transfer, right?
Yeah, and you see, Aston Villa, I stepped out on a perch last year around this time, and I warned you guys about Newcastle.
How big is the perch, family?
It was a big perch. To be honest, it was a big perch. I said, if Newcastle survive, they will make it to Champions League next year and compete. Remember, I said it, you know?
Yes, you did.
I'm going to step on a perch right now. If Aston Villa, because I think Aston Villa is a good defender and a striker away. If Aston Villa finds that good defender and find that young striker that can stay healthy and score goals, they are going to compete for a lot next year, you know. This Yuri Tillemans to me is one of those players that people overlook a lot, but he is very important to any football team at his side. I was hoping Manchester United signed him, but them don't want him. I think this is a big signing. I really do. Really do.
Yeah, it's a big signing because ultimately one of the key things that Aston Villa need to get resolved, if they're going to play double pivot, and they've tried playing double pivot with Douglas Luiz and Young Kamara in that double pivot role. Young Kamara cannot handle that pressure. He cannot. He's wet behind the ears. Now you bring in a player like Yuri Tillemans, seasoned veteran, ball intelligent, an intelligent footballer, to give Douglas Luiz a lot of support in that midfield. You can go double. You can push him further up the field. I mean, he can kick it from anywhere. I think it's a wise move. Now, granted, I do support the decision that they will need to add some more pieces also on the defensive side of things to help. But this is a good addition. And it's early warm yet for the transfer window. So big up to your Tillermans. I mean, I suspect James Madison is probably going to go too, Junior.
No, because James Madison is not for free.
Oh, it's not for free.
Tillermans is a free transfer.
Yeah,
James
Tillermans
Madison
is a free transfer. But does the great white hype James Madison wants to play in the championship with Leicester City?
Does anybody outside of the championship want the great white hype James Madison?
Could use his services, right?
Who?
You are telling me, sir, Everton cannot use your James Madison?
So Everton that nearly get relegated is going to take a player that a team was dependent on to keep them from getting relegated, and they got relegated. James Madison he's not the shiny option anymore. So what would be required for him to play is going to be you can't build a team around him. Not even a low tier Premier League.
Nottingham Forest can use James.
Are you crazy? No. We seem to think that this is the James Madison from 2-3 years ago.
Okay,
it's not.
okay. So this version of James Madison maybe something.
This version of James Madison is the part of the responsibility for Leicester being where they are have to fall on James Madison's feet.
Yeah, the hype seems to have gotten to him.
Right. So he's not that shiny anymore. So I would think James Ward-Prowse would be more of a option for other teams than James Madison.
No, we need GMs. Big up to the Southampton nation. We need GMs to help with the return to Premier League. Junior, before we pivot from this news regarding Yuri Tillerman's Arsenal, word is Arsenal is looking at Declan Rice, and that's their central focus. If that is correct, that Arsenal is looking at Declan Rice and their central focus, did they miss an opportunity here in going after one Mr. Yuri Tillemans? A cheaper transfer potentially than a Declan Rice.
Yeah, but you see, Arsenal have to splash. The different. All right, this is the BS of crazy money in EPL. Teams out there have to splurge money or make that splash signing. Declan Rice versus Yuri Tillemans. Which player brings more hype? Declan Rice, even though Yuri Tillemans is the better footballer. 100 out of 100 times, Yuri Tillemans is the better footballer. Declan Rice is in James Madison bracket of overhyped players. So this love affair, remember there was James Madison and Declan Rice together. There was a crazy love affair for these two midfielders. I couldn't understand it. Man, you would have go crazy over him. Declan Rice is a Chelsea fan. He is on record as Chelsea fan. He is on record saying he will play for Chelsea. So you're talking about Yuri Tillemans. Why the hell is Arsenal going after Declan Rice when Caicedo is sitting right there that we couldn't get 6 months ago? Why would not focus on Caicedo?
No, but Declan Rice is a more seasoned veteran, right?
No, Benton.
Yes, he is, Junior.
He's a more in play longer.
More experienced player.
Who is a better player right now in your eyes? Declan Rice or Caicedo?
All right. I think I would lead with all the boxes being checked and we're going to weight experience as heavily in this answer. I would say Declan Rice. I mean, what Caicedo has, Junior, is upside. His outlook is huge, right? And so he has this bigger outlook and this bigger upside. But we don't know what Caicedo will be 2 years from now. Now, granted, Declan Rice, this is probably the best he will get what we saw this year, right, with West Ham. But that best we will get at Arsenal, or Arsenal will receive, may be just good enough for what Arsenal is trying to achieve, which is an EPL title. Because you then replace aging old foot Jorginho, who's definitely out of contract, and then you also may get somebody who's much more seem to be healthier than the one Mr. Thomas Partey.
Okay, but then in Casado, all right, you can't go wrong. I agree with you. Declan Rice is not a bad option, but Casado has the to me, he has the Camavinga effect. Casado can play anywhere on the football field. Declan Rice is playing just like Chouamini. He's going to be in one spot. So I see Arteta having ultimately, if Arteta can sign both players, I'm happy. But I see Casado being more valuable than Declan Rice because he can do what Declan Rice does, but Declan Rice cannot do what Casado. You can't put Declan Rice a left back.
No, you can't, and you hopefully won't need to. But you know, one of my concerns about Brighton players, and I know this is a small sample size. I worry about Cucurella. He was outstanding at Brighton. He flopped at Chelsea so far. Bissouma was outstanding at Brighton, and he was missing at Spurs. And I'm not saying that the same thing will happen with Moises Caicedo, all right, wherever he ends up. But I'm just looking at these two players who are doing quite well in Brighton's system, right? And now here they are at other clubs where the expectation was greater, and they didn't deliver. So, and I'm not saying that will happen with young Moises Caicedo. It's important that he goes to a team that can manage him well, who can guide him. And Arsenal, Arteta maybe is the team for that. But also Arsenal and Arteta is also on the perch of trying to win a title. Next year Arsenal fans can't come around and say this is good enough. You see my deal with? Next year Arteta cannot come and say, boy, this is an overachievement. It's trophy or bust next year. Something for Arsenal next year. And so if Moises Caicedo is the man them bring in, then I don't know if I can rely on Moises Caicedo to carry that heavy lift, as opposed to a Declan Rice, who I know is a more experienced player.
Okay, but
in the trenches.
So guess what then? I think the answer is neither.
Neither of them.
If I am Arsenal, the answer is neither. Because what you've just eloquently laid out is whichever signing coming for Arsenal, if Arsenal finish third, fourth, fifth, are your fault.
Yeah, it's trophy next year.
So I can't put that on Caicedo, to be honest. I can't. I definitely can't put up on Declan Rice. Declan Rice, you go a World Cup with England, and what did you do? So Declan Rice is not that guy. Who is that guy? Like, who is really, if we really have a sit down, do I really think who is the ideal signing for Arsenal?
That is for the Arsenal scouting department.
No, but it's more to me, you have to go to Real Madrid.
No, you can't peel off any of those ballers at Real Madrid.
No, you have to go to Real Madrid because we already know Chouamini, we already know Camavinga, we already know Bellingham. You might have a chance for Prime Valverde away from Real Madrid.
No,
and that might be the
untouchable.
But you understand what I'm saying.
I understand the aspiration, but untouchable baller, untouchable.
If me want to win Premier League next year, I have to go for Valverde. If I have to.
That type of player, but that's an untouchable. No.
Our Cruz, is Cruz too old?
Maybe you can get Cruz. No, that's probably you can get him, but will he give you that thing in this league? That's the thing for Arsenal. Can Cruz give you that? I doubt that. It's a rough proposition. Arsenal, I wouldn't want to be Arsenal board right now because you cannot bring in a transfer that we are going to say he is just as good as this one on your roster. You can't. You have to bring in somebody that's better. Have to. Well, we'll see. But big up to Declan Rice and Mikel Antonio for winning the Europa Conference League. Big up to Mikel Antonio. And last week I called it Bush League, but we have to acknowledge trophies are trophy. Regardless, big up yourselves. These men put in their shift, put in work, and they've earned it. So big up to them. Big up. Congrats to Mikel Antonio and the entire family at West Ham. And David Moyes, big up yourself. Junior, some other news before we go home. We had quite a few news before we go home. We had FIFA announced this week payment structure for the Women's World Cup slated for later on this year. Players allocation guarantee payment for players. Group stage 30,000 US. Round of 16 exit 60,000 US. Quarterfinal exit 90,000 US. Fourth place 165,000 US. Third place 180,000 US. Second place 195,000. And all the players on the winning US women's national team will make 270,000 US dollars. We're going to go ahead and hand the World Cup to them right now. Junior, your thoughts on this payment structure?
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. No, from
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. Financial allocation per player, FIFA Women's World Cup.
Should I be that guy? Should I be that guy?
Hey, somebody have to ask those questions, family. Somebody have to ask those questions.
All right. So it's a two-part question, you know, because everybody know is GFF getting the money first, and then we're responsible with this person, right? All right. So actually, we have three questions. My first question is, what if a player is underage, is in high school or currently in college? Okay, they can't get paid as a professional. Where does that money go? Right? Because normally via NCAA rules, I don't know how the NIL deals kick in or whatever. But if a player is underage, or if a player is currently at, let's say Jamaica had a wonder high school player or a college player that they're bringing in, that player cannot be paid as a professional until graduation. So that money should be put in a trust for that player, right? So we don't know how that going to go.
I mean, they must work this out somehow. I don't know the legal details of this, but this must get resolved. At the end of the day, Junior, the player is going to get $30,000. Big up yourself, Reggaegirlz, per player. I mean, they're going to get this money. This is huge.
So we can ask the second question.
You can ask, Junior.
Because every time we have a conversation, you have so many players out there where you say, why this player can't get a run? Why that player can't get a run? You do realize now that the squad that is getting picked, it is a $30,000 decision. You do realize that.
Per player decision.
Per player. No, each decision is a 30 grand decision.
Yep, because they're going to get that money, yep.
So I am not going to sit down now and say to myself, we sit down and argue about players without the $30,000 stipulation hanging over them head. Imagine the arguments we're going to have in the next couple of months about which player got left out and why this player got left out, and this is what I get 30,000, but this is one that now play for your club, and this one now perform, but this one is a coach's pet, this one they talk out against the coach, this one, it's imagine the conversation we have. It is unfortunate because I love it that the ladies are going to get paid, right? But with that pool of players that we have, with no clear-cut squad, apart from Bonnie Shaw and my little midfielder, there's no clear-cut players.
Bonnie Shaw, Jules Spence, and Rebecca Spencer, the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Apart from that three, that 90 grand is sure. Apart from that, everybody else ever say, well, you know, somebody will come out feeling vexed. Somebody's going to come out saying, for the last 2 World Cup cycles, I toiled. I spent my own money. I fought the federation. I did this. We had to get our own plane tickets. We never have adequate resources, blah, blah, blah. And now the opportunity come for me to recoup that money, and I will not get that opportunity because you prefer player X over me that I don't think is better.
Look, if the coach will pick, big up to Lauren, and we asked Lauren some of these questions. Let's see if he'll reply, because we're not going to be able to sit down and do an interview, but we sent a list of questions to him. Let's see if he replied. If the coach picked the team based on merit, then we have none of these issues. If it's based on other things, then there will be those issues, right?
But who's merit? Who's merit?
The coach. The coach gets to decide. Merit is performance-based system, right? What are the boxes that you're checking for your squad? Good. This is a good thing for the Women's World Cup, though. Very good thing.
Very good. Yes.
Also, another announcement by FIFA President Mr. Infantino is this money directly will go to the JFF. Final position, participating member association allocation. If your final position is a group stage, you get $1.56 million US for investment and development of the women's game. If you exit the round of 16, you get $1.87 million US. If you exit the quarterfinal rounds, 2.18 million US. Fourth place, 2.45 million. Third place, 2.61 million. Second, 3.01 million. And the champions get 4.29 million US. Junior, FIFA said they budgeted $500 million US for this upcoming FIFA Women's World Cup. Your thoughts on this new payment? Member association allocation, and you can be that guy. President.
Well, what it shows me though is that it shows me that they have figured out a way how to make women's football lucrative. They have figured out a formula and to make it attractive enough to finally start garnering the revenue that they want, and they are doing the right thing of giving it back to the teams, to the ladies, so that the quality can get even better, right? That is on the surface. That's right there, just sitting there looking at you. Now, what does this do for those teams out there that don't necessarily put as much effort in the female side of the game as they do in the male side of the game, right? What does that do for them? How does this change their approach to their homegrown league, knowing now that, hey, money out there forget, the women's league now is not just we're not just dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Money out there forget.
Yeah, it
right?
can be lucrative. Can be a lucrative.
Can be lucrative. So now let's take it more seriously. And ultimately, it will work out in the best, to be honest. I like it. I like it.
And FIFA Secretariat Fatima Samora has been quite busy making the rounds, interacting with posting a lot of images of interacting with member association presidents, and she's spearheading and very much involved in the development of the women's game in a lot of these members associations. So you have to put money into the thing because there's a potential lucrative return. Plus, we always say, we love women and we love ball games. So why not? Forward with the woman and kick some ball. What I'm telling you. Junior, as we get ready, don't know the last show for the year, but we have to kind of just go a little bit longer and get your thoughts on Reggaegirlz camp squad release by JFF. Mr. Lauren Donaldson selected his squad. Let's get the dates here of the actual camp. First of all, your thoughts on this camp, the squad, Junior?
Look, Rebecca Spencer, Drew Spence, Khadija Shah. That's where my squad start and end. After that, we'll just throw darts on paper and say, bring it, and then we'll bring it. Even your friend Cindy Schneider, whatever. What I'm looking at right now is $30,000 a piece. I said, is there a player out there? Because that's the question. Is there a player out there that is not on this list that should be on the list? Right?
Yes. And there are players on the squad. So the ultimate questions that I have. All right. Kanya Plummer, Trudy Carter are unattached. Tiffany Cameron also unattached without a club. Junior, do you feel comfortable knowing that the camp date is from June 11th to the 20th? Do you feel comfortable potentially taking players to the World Cup who are not with a club? Tierney Wilshire is also unattached. Your thoughts on that, family?
Well, big up to Miss Spooky Lou Kanya. She's unattached because she just recently had a baby, right?
Yeah, but she play a ball now.
Right. It is. Look, from a football perspective, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. But what are we trying to do? What are we trying to accomplish? Right? And we're looking for the best team. If you're the coach, you're trying to build the best team. Best team doesn't normally mean that it's the best 11 or the best 15 or the best 18 that's available. The best team, it is the best group of individuals that seem to mesh well together when you put the puzzle pieces together, right? I can only hope that is the reason why Kanya Plummer is there, Tierney is there, Tiffany Cameron is there. I can only hope that's the reason why. Trudy Carter. I can only hope that's the reason why. Because if they play, unfortunately, let's say Kanya play and score 2-1 goal, they're gonna say it's because she's unattached. That's why, right? There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's just what
2 goals.
2-1 goals.
Okay, 2-1 goals. Okay, like Frank Sinclair.
Like Frank, if she pull a Frank Sinclair, right? Perfect example.
Who was attached?
No, that's a perfect example, though. Frank Sinclair, that was not a part of the campaign. Dean Swell and Shorty Malcolm have a rub bench. Shorty Malcolm had to rub bench. Dean Swell never get picked for the side. They bring in Frank Sinclair, right? And was Frank Sinclair better than Swell and Shorty Malcolm? That's arguable, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of thing we're going through right now, and it's unfortunate. And this is what happens when you have a pool of players that are somewhat equitable. You can't pull the best 18. I wish we had a set 11 where we can say this is our best 11. There's no question about it. This is our best 15. I wish we had that. But our squad list is just too big for both men and women.
We have a lot of women's ball game coming up to play. A lot of games. You have World Cup. You have Olympic. Olympic. And you also you have World Cup. You have Olympic.
Yeah, but Benton, World Cup at the $30,000 one. Olympics and World Cup at the 30 grand.
All right, Lauren Donaldson selected Rebecca Spencer, Sydney Schneider, Leah Brooks. Big up Leah. Alison Swaby. Those are the goalkeepers, by the way. Rebecca Spencer, Sydney Schneider, Leah Brooks, the goalkeepers. Alison Swaby, Chantel Swaby, Kanya Plummer, Denisha Blackwood, Satara Murray, Vian Sampson, Tierney Wilshire are the defenders. Peyton McNamara, Drew Spence, Trudy Carter, Solai Washington, Giselle Washington. What? Those are sisters. Raquel Jones, Atlanta Primus are the midfielders. Khadija Bonnie Shaw, Jody Brown, Tiffany Cameron, Cameron Simmons, Kiki Van Zanten, Michaela Days, Paige Bailey Gale. Junior, that's the squad. That's the squad. That's the squad. That's the squad. Coach Lauren Donaldson called into camp for June 11th to 20. I have a big issue with Kayla McCoy being missing, but Kayla McCoy has not been part of Drew's Lauren's plan. Kayla McCoy was outstanding on the VIN, and she was outstanding on the for Rangers. So I guess every coach have their own thing, you know. So, and she's actually attached to a club, so and playing football. So we'll say June 11th to the 20th.
So she make her $30,000 that way.
JPL final this evening. I think I saw BM said something yesterday about the pink slip final. I don't know what Cavaliers SC versus Mount Pleasant. Game is at 7 p.m. Jamaican time. Sabina Park family. Junior, Cavaliers looking to win third. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's third JPL title. Mount Pleasant looking for their first. Who you got, family?
But at a long time you bring Mount Pleasant back, Benton.
I mean,
Cavalier is a storied side, you know.
I would love to see Tapa win a trophy. I mean, I understand Mount Pleasant spent a lot of money with, you know, they're one of the leading goal scorer, Chavante Stewart, plays for Mount Pleasant. But I mean, I would love to see Mount Pleasant win a trophy. They've been good
Cavalier.
for football. Yeah.
Okay.
So who do you have, family?
I go with the storied side, Cavalier.
You're going with the storage side. Cavaliers game is at 7 p.m. at Sabina Park later on this evening. So we'll check it out and watch the game. Junior, reminder to the listeners coming up later on, Reggae Boys World Cup qualifier, not World Cup qualifier, Reggae
World
Boys
Cup.
friendly game against Jordan June 19th, and Reggae Boys friendly game against Qatar on June 15th. Today is June 11th, so you know that
This week.
This is this week Thursday, and next week Monday. Any comments from this for these upcoming friendly games Thursday?
I want to see improvement. I want to see taking more steps forward, getting ready for the Gold Cup so that we can have a good Gold Cup run. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything else.
All right, football family. We're going to try and see if we find a link. If we find a link for the game, we'll do a watch along. I was checking out to see potential broadcasters here, but I don't see anything readily available on the TV schedule for the football schedule for this game. So we don't know. And this game will be played in Austria. These games are in Austria. Junior, is that too much to play these games in Austria and then turn around and come play a tournament in the US?
How much time? When Gold Cup start?
Gold Cup
Let me see. Gold Cup schedule.
Saturday, June 24th. USA takes on Jamaica, family.
Yeah.
So we play a game on the 19th in Austria, and then the Monday we
Fly
play
out
in
instantly.
Austria.
No, if you fly out instantly, you fly instantly.
And then the Saturday we're playing in Chicago against USA.
Nothing wrong with that.
You mean fly out instantly?
No, you get 40 if you fly.
Junior, there's nothing about flying out instantly on the JFF. All right.
So the 22nd, someone might still at the airport.
It's 22nd. Somebody might still be in the airport. Interesting that, but Qatar is also in the same tournament. So Qatar will play on Sunday. So I mean, of course, Qatar money long, so they can't charter a flight. That's me I deal with. So.
Well, we might just piggyback with them.
Yeah, just right when I see him play.
Wasn't that the plan for one of the Jamaica games? Was it the not Cayman? Was it it was in the World Cup? Was it the World Cup qualifier?
I'm not sure.
You remember the World Cup
Suriname game? The Suriname
Suriname.
game.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Suriname Nations League game. Yes.
Yes, the Nation League game.
Yes. They were supposed to fly together. And somebody never put for them part of the money.
Yeah. Jamaica never put for them part of the money.
All right. Friendly game, Reggae Boys versus Qatar. This Thursday, we're going to try and see if we do a watch along for this game as we get ready for the Gold Cup coming up starting on June 24th. Reggae Boys need to win a trophy, and why not? If not now, when?
When?
If not now, when? Final show for for club football this season. We pivot to watch along schedule for the summer. Family, big up to yourself. Big up, be safe. Thank you. We look at the analytics and we saw where people are watching. Jaja from all over the world. Bahrain, Jamaica, USA, Canada, Kenya, Ghana, South Africa. Big up on us, Ethiopia. Big up on yourself.
Love it.
Germany, Brazil. Big up Trinidad. Big up.
Yeah, because remember we were the number one football podcast in Trinidad.
We were the number one in Trinidad for 2 weeks. So, but most importantly, this was fun. It's been a fun year. A lot of work. We it was a pleasure bringing you this content and getting you guys feedback. And we're working to improve as always. We're always striving to do better in what we do. Respect the tribe, respect the support, and big up to all listeners. Reggie, big up yourself. Prime Minister, we see you. Big up yourself, family. BM, big up. Big up to all the ladies. Salute to all the ladies. We know you watch, we see you. Because when you look at the analytics, you see you see who and what gender and rare watching and following. So big up on yourself. Respect to all the ladies. Junior, that's my final appreciation to the fans for the year. Your piece, family.
Yeah, but we love the support, we love the growth. And we always say family. We're all a family and we love it. Salute to them. And trust me, this year we were on Netflix for captains. Next year going to be greater. We're working on more things, and you know what I'm saying. You just keep treading. Windows will open, and when a window crack, I jump through the window. So we're carrying on the woodway. We love the support. We'll be back again. Community Shield weekend. We will be back again.
Yeah, man. Big up in it. But watch along. Stay tuned for watch along for wall-to-wall coverage of Reggae Boys, Reggaegirlz. We pivot. Big up to the Curacao family running in. And big up to Curacao Football Federation and all the Curacao family. Good luck in the Gold Cup, just as long as it does not play the Reggae Boys.
And big up the Reggaegirlz Foundation. The Reggaegirlz Foundation is one of those few big name organizations that support Ballchat. Really support Ballchat, and they help us grow our social media, help us grow by reposting our things, and we really build a partnership with them when they never really have to really look at us. So salute Reggaegirlz Foundation. And you know what? It's been a couple of years. Gene Nelson, continue to RIP. You are one of the pioneers that helped propel Ballchat to where Ballchat is right now. So, Benton, your big friend.
Big up. One love, Gene. One love. World Cup update, Junior. FIFA U20 World Cup final currently going on. Uruguay versus Italy. Game is on Univision 0-0. Our television publica. New channel. Boy, them channel come from out of nowhere. I don't even know. Next thing you know, we're going to start one channel. That's not far right on paid TV. But it's currently 0-0, 67 minutes. Should be a very good ball game to watch the last part of it.
Yes.
Should be a... All right, listeners. Big up to all listeners. You can connect with us on Facebook at Ballchat, on Twitter at Ballchat1, on Instagram at Ballchat Podcast. Also, of note, we want to big up Mexico U20 women's team. Big up those young ladies. Big up, congrats on winning the CONCACAF Women's U20 tournament, defeating USA. It's very rarely when you see somebody other than the US winning the women's version of a tournament in CONCACAF. So big up to Mexico U20 women's team on their way to the FIFA Women's U20 World Cup along with USA and Canada. Big up, congrats, felicidades to all those ladies. Junior, salute to the fans who gone and road in a family.
Yeah, man, later. Road.